Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, April 12th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Around 9 p.m. tonight, Eastern Time, we'll be having a Time for Change call. I'm going to unravel some things and explain some truths that the American people definitely have to know about the monetary system, about the whole structure. Don't rely on the mind for liberation. Just have faith and act on it. You are the sum cause of the entire universe, Nisargadatta. At the very core of your heart is a golden fountain of peace that is perpetually overflowing with sensations of loving, healing, relaxing energy. This warm feeling is always here, always flowing, and forever available to dive into. Your heart is the place of true refuge that you can return to at any time and find your real home. So I invite you to take a deep breath right now and relax completely into your heart. Feel the pulse and the rhythm of your warm, beating heart. Become as still as you can and listen to the silence in between each heartbeat. Notice how it feels to relax into this rhythm and let the silence consume you. When you really relax into your heart, your entire being opens up like a flower blossoming to the sun. In this state, you are able to fully receive your life. The mind, with its ego-driven nature, does not want to fall into this bliss inside the heart. The mind would rather be busy creating its own version of success and its own modality of liberation. It wants to achieve something, have personal goals to fulfill and pursue desires for attaining happiness. It has a million very important reasons and excuses for why it cannot just sit, rest, and relax into your heart. It will make you believe that you can discover real fulfillment by achieving it in the outer world. The mind is a trickster, and its ego trip will do anything to remain busy and avoid being wrong. Its whole life, it's been right about how real success is manifested out there. And to just find it at home inside the heart would be quite embarrassing. The ego will attach itself to anything, any project, person, or idea, so that it can work hard to achieve something great and not have to face its futility. The amazing thing about the heart is that it always abides in a natural state of divinity that is quite easily accessed. You may think it's difficult to slow down, trust the heart, and relax into this divine experience. Yet, it is truly effortless. You are already so tired and completely exhausted from running from one experience to another throughout your entire life that it will be so easy to relax. Your heart is ready to receive you now. and it will not abandon you. It is always available for you right here in your chest, waiting for you to arrive. To discover the heart space of bliss, simply hold your attention on your heart and breathe into this space. You can feel the heart energy opening with every breath you take. Keep the mind fixed on this location as long as you can. Every time the mind wanders away, gently and slowly bring it back to the heart space. Do this practice all day long. This is the first step in taming the mind, which essentially will allow you to transcend all suffering in your life and allow you to discover your original soul path to enlightenment. Enlightenment happens when you are in a state of no mind, when the heart is leading the way. The mind is so calm and at ease, it seems to disappear, and only the witness remains. Taming a mind that has been running the show for many decades is going to take major patience and courage. You must be like a wild lion, the king of the most dangerous jungle. You must be completely fierce in your focus to remain at peace. Sitting at the peak of the highest mountain and oversee all the wild animals throughout the terrain. To find this kingly power, you must choose to be able to trust yourself completely and rest deeply in the central core and essence of your heart. This practice is truly simple. Just keep placing your attention there, breathing into the heart energy, and relax your entire body. Notice where you are holding tension in your body and release it with your breath. Watch where the mind tends to wander, noticing how it reacts to this discipline without trying to control it. You will soon experience deep sensations of peace that arise on their own accord. With trust, something immense opens up. And this life is no longer an ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing. When the heart is innocent and the walls have disappeared, you are bridged with infinity. Also. Now, your heart is the greatest doorway for discovering profound states of realization. Whomever has the most open, trusting heart in the room is the one who is tapping into the highest loving power in this universe. This person has the greatest love, the deepest compassion, and the most profound silence within. They have the real wisdom and understanding to reach the most enlightened state possible. The heart is here to help the mind surrender to life so that you find the deepest source of peace inside you. Without the heart, you would never discover a total release from the relentless grasp and scurrying of the overachieving, desiring mind. Once you make the choice to be the master of your mind, you begin your journey into being truly of service for the highest good of humanity. When you've made the heart your real master, a natural river of love, bliss, and connection to Source flows throughout your body. Others are instantly calmed by your presence. The mind, in its chaotic efforting state, becomes absorbed by the silence within. You feel as though there is a divine healing power alive and breathing inside you that is caressing your soul with each and every breath you take. Today is your opportunity to begin with this path of life mastery. Make the commitment right now to direct your mind and breath towards the heart as often as you can every day this week. Whenever you are waiting in line, stuck in traffic, in a boring conversation, walking through town, or just sitting in some chair, bring your full attention to your heart center and breathe. Point the mind back to the center. Relax into your core essence and the simple truth of the spiritual being that you are. There is an infinite soul living inside you. And this is the real you. When you find this connection with your soul, you liberate the mind from all its blocks. And you start experiencing this blissful, peaceful being that you naturally are 24 hours a day. Eventually, with enough practice, you will be at one with this unbounded spiritual being that you are. It is always here, right now. It is simply hidden from view behind the desiring ego and wandering mind. When you do find your soul, and you will, the most peaceful, empowering realization will manifest for you. It will bring so much love, gratitude, joy into your heart that this one experience will become more rewarding than any accomplishment you've ever achieved in the outer world. This is your time to shine and receive that spiritual connection which makes your life sing today. Have fun diving inside your heart and enjoy your journey. Now, many of us enjoy this journey. You were to ask yourself, right? In total honesty, am I enjoying this journey? And this journey, I know, is infinite, never ends. So is it the journey or the destination? Well, with the journey, this endless, you really aren't going to have a destination per se. So when you know that, and you realize that, okay, so this is an experience for me. This physical life, this body, or everything outside of me. This is an experience for me on a never-ending journey. And in this experience, I'm going to manifest everything that I desire and everything that I don't desire. And I'm going to discover that I focus on what I want and what I don't want because of learning through this life. When I focus on what I don't want, I get. And I'm going to enjoy this journey because it's temporary. And this body I am in is temporary. And all the things that I have acquired are temporary. So I enjoy them, but I don't get overly attached to them. Have you ever been in a scenario or situation where you attach to something and you get so attached to it? For instance, let's look at people who collect cars, right? And every car they buy, old, unusual, different energy source, whatever, they get attached to it, some way, shape, or form. So they usually end up never selling any of those cars because they're attached to so many of them. Would you sell that one? No, that one has a story behind it. Okay? And so as time goes by and the body ages, right, deteriorates, rots away, you kind of, you get to a point where you say, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Enjoy them. I won't have them forever because eventually I'm leaving this body and all this behind me. Leaving something behind that's going to have people remember you is ego. It's ego. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, basically, it means that why are we so attached to things that we know are temporary that we will end up leaving behind anyway? Isn't that amazing? Now, a lot of us don't know that. We really don't. It's not like we're doing it on purpose. But we're in that habit. So when you look at something, right, and you say, oh, I really like this. And you say that, I know I won't have it forever. I know that I will end up leaving this body and that'll be left behind. But right now I'm enjoying it. And you'll find that anything that you have attachments to, you will suffer. Now, it's interesting, isn't it, when, let's say a man and woman have a relationship, right? They're married. And they fear not being together. Okay. And the fear builds through the ego mind the worry and stress, anxiety of not being together because they become what? Attached. And I know this is kind of tricky to share, explain, but when you know you have you and the God within you, right? You know that you are plugged in to all life, all existence, and beyond forever, then you won't be attached. You love someone, but you're not attached to them. And the fear of losing them is ego mind. Or you have a situation where the woman is deeply attached to the man or attracted to the man, and the man isn't to her with her. She keeps pursuing to no avail. Then vice versa, where the man is deeply attracted to the woman, keeps pursuing her, and she isn't so much with him. So we have it's like a guide, our God is, that as we go along in this life, we enjoy things. And I'll tell you, when you've experienced where you don't have anything, okay? You accumulate things and then it's all gone. You accumulate things and it's all gone, so on and so forth. When you don't have anything and you know how expendable all the stuff is, your perspective is totally different. In other words, if you lost everything tomorrow, you wouldn't be affected by it because you knew and know that you could literally restructure your life, redirect it, and you're good to go, and all this abundance comes flooding in again. But how are you going to know what it's like? Right? How are you going to know what it's like? How are you, let's say that you are wealthy, okay? Let's say that, you're wealthy. And you don't know what poverty is. You have no clue what poverty is. So that's a pretty clear perspective and understanding. Now, someone who has been wealthy and then becomes poor, right? And then becomes wealthy again, they know the difference. And they know that everything is fleeting. Everything is fleeting. We do not have at this present time all the time in the world. You heard that statement. You know, where someone will say they have all the time in the world. Well, they really don't. So this becomes a kind of a dilemma, because a lot of people, through the ego mind, become so insecure that they just literally grip and white knuckle everything. And a lot of times they don't know why. Fear of losing something. Remember, in this life, even though it's temporary, in the physical world, what you focus on is what you get. So if a person focuses on the fact that what would they do if they didn't have anything, right? They're focused on it. And the universe responds and says, here you go. Here's some more. And so then you go, and then the universe gives you some more. And it's funny because you don't realize it, but you're digging the hole deeper. And that's because of the ego mind, and that we're so attached to what? Out there. Physical life. That's what we're attached to. That's what we gravitate to. And it is a complete understanding for us to embrace things such as, I won't be here forever. Even after immortality, even after you're immortal, you'll come to a point, some more, some less, where you'll say to yourself, I'm done with this body. Okay? Even though that body is everything you want it to be, it doesn't matter. You will say, I'm done with this body. Because you'll want to move on. Will you be attached to the body when you leave it? No, when you're enlightened and you know who and what you are in the body, it'll be like taking off one suit and putting on another. That's it. And you're like an orchestra conductor, right? And you have all these avenues. And you have all these instruments at your disposal. And you're conducting it all. So it sounds smooth and relaxing. And you feel it. So what happens is that then you begin to realize is that where would I focus my attention? I focus my attention on finding the God within me. Or you could be, you could be sitting by a lake and focus on the God that you are in the water and the trees and everything. Now, what's permanent? You, the God in the body, which never dies. You, the God in the body that never dies. Now, when you really know this through the heart mind, I mean, really know it, embrace it, and accept it. Do you really believe that you're going to be worried about leaving that physical body? No, you won't be. Of course, you want to know all there is to know about who and what you are. And once you get there, you'll have obtained true freedom. You will also realize that you are a master manifester, immortal supreme being. You can have anything you want. Now, what happens with that? Okay. Well, if you're ego-minded, you're going to have everything you want, but it'll bore you because it's like you get something and it's kind of fun and wonderful, and then boom. I was having this conversation earlier today, and it just disappears. That's not a big deal. It's a car. You first get it. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And then, not too long after, it's a car. Or you wanted a special kind of coat, and you finally got the coat, and you like the coat, and then after a while, it was just a coat. So we have all these avenues that we can step down, right, and experience. And I'm sure a lot of you have been in a dream where you woke up in the dream and you were still in the dream. And a lot of people have shared with me that they don't dream. Well, funny thing is that we all dream every single night. We all dream. It's just that many people don't know they're dreaming. Isn't that interesting? You might wake up that morning and you might say to yourself, did I have a dream? Because, you feel something. You say to yourself, no, I don't think I had a dream this when I was asleep. Maybe it's just a figment of my imagination. You never had a dream. But you did dream. And, sometimes you're running along and you're in an area that reminds you of your dream. You say, this looks familiar, this place. And then sometimes it dawns on you. This was in my dream. Or have you experienced this, where people show up in your dream? You ever had that happen? People that show up in your dream. And then the next day you say, Harry, you were in my dream. And Harry might say something like, really? Well, I was feeling and thinking about you. And you experienced the fact that I was in your dream. And here's the connection. When we dream about others, They're in our dream. And we're highly interactive with them. It's not like they're strangers. They don't feel like strangers. We're connecting with the God within ourselves. And we dream with the God that we are. Where you'll say, I know I did this. I'm very familiar with this. I know I've done this before. So we have this it's kind of confusing for us all that we have this experience. And isn't it funny? Someone will be talking about their dream and you say to them that you never dream. You never dream. And if you do, you never remember them. And that's not true either. And you simplify this because through the steps of deciding to go within and stay within and keep going in, going back in, no matter what the ego mind has up its sleeve as far as tricks, you stay in a high frequencies of deep eternal love. And your position. What is your greatest wish for you? Your greatest wish. And you take time to identify it. You're not in a hurry. And you go over every single piece of it. And you present it to the universe. And you have the confidence, faith, and trust in yourself and the universe that you know it will manifest for you. And there's a lot of people that want to be enlightened, right? Living in the heart mind, focused on the now, the space between heartbeats, only the now, mastering the ego mind so it takes a back seat and eventually it is no longer there. These are all high frequencies. So doesn't it make sense to spend your energy and time on focusing on what you want? Precision detail. And remember, this isn't a race. Now, none of us are, vying for being number one in the race. Now, I believe that we have this all stigmatism, let's say. And stigmatism is where you aren't quite clear. Nigh-stigmatism is where, far-sighted, near-sighted, that type of thing. The stigmatism for us as a civilization is we're way overdue to locating the God that we are in the body and embracing that God. And along the way, along the journey, we learn. And we apply that knowledge that we gain to our what? And you feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And that while you literally feel really, really, really light. kind of floaty. You begin to move into a state of ethereal. And you're in deep gratitude in that state. And you're at peace with that state, which then goes into the body completely relaxing and you surrender to the God you are within that body. And you have chosen that you have removed yourself from the rat race and retired from the rat race. And the more you become honest and authentic with yourself and discovering who and what you are, the more freedom you start to experience. Isn't it? It's really ironic that we seek outside of ourselves for just about everything in this life. And out there. So we seek out there. And the interesting thing about that is that it's inside us. All of it, all the answers, all the support, everything is inside us. Getting to know yourself is the primal key to discovering the God that you are within that body. In any other way. You could try other ways. A lot have been tried. But they just don't seem to cut it long term. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with. All the wisdom, all the compassion and treasures are within. So where are you going to hide it, Pamela Wilson? Now, maybe you've met people, right? And I know that many of us would like 100% guarantee that everything is going to be okay throughout our lives. We want a golden contract from God that says our entire future will be safe from harm, free from pain, and that we will always manifest our every desire and dream. We want to know for sure that this life is always working out for us in our favor, and we are guaranteed a perfect, flawless future. Now, the only problem with this is that we also want a life that is brimming with excitement and overflowing with new, fascinating adventures every day. We want a future that is free from boredom and filled with a spiritual richness that we are forever bathing in. The healing qualities of our very soul. Now the real question is, would all of this be possible if there was no such thing as fear? Now, if you've done your inner research and looked deeply into your personal relationship with fear, it might seem to be one of those slippery issues that you are either trying to cope with, ignore, transcend, or avoid all costs. Many of us were told in our childhood that if we want to be happy, we need to conquer our fears. Yet nobody actually told us how to do that. Anybody ever tell you that, your mom or dad, or people that you know when you were growing up? If you want to be happy, we need to conquer our fears. So we sat there and said, what does that mean? And they never told us how to do it, probably because they had accomplished this amazing feat themselves. That's because most everyone has forgotten the truth that we are divine, eternal, spiritual beings who will never die. Now, why would we have fear with that knowledge? Why? There's no reason for it. And people are still waiting for that magical formula that will free them from fear. And some have waited for lifetimes for it. That which can be taken away from you is not worth keeping. And that which cannot be taken away from you, right? That which can be taken away from you is not worth keeping. And that which cannot be taken away from you, why should one be afraid of its being taken away? It cannot be taken away. There's no possibility. You cannot lose your real treasure, Osho. What can't be taken away? The God within us, of who we truly are. Of whom we truly are. That can't be taken away. That's you. Eternal. Once you trust the energy of fear, the trusting energy comes from a spiritually advanced understanding that we live in a divine, benevolent, conscious universe that never makes a mistake. It has no room for coincidence. This whole intelligent universe is always on our side and knows exactly what ingredients are needed for your enlightenment. By accepting this paradigm into every cell in our bodies, we can start to understand how fear is our greatest teacher and best friend. By knowing the loving universe is always working in your favor, we can relax more, take the risk, snuggle up to our fear, and get a closer look underneath it, just to see what it truly is and why it is actually there. Be curious about yourself. Be a daily practice, deep, authentic curiosity with yourself. You'll need to explore why you are afraid of whatever you are afraid of. What is this special avoidance that is hooked deep into your gut and heart really all about? Is it only through a childlike curiosity and a true heartfelt inquiry that we can turn our worries into wonders and catch a glimpse of what it actually is that we are running from? Look at the fear, embrace the fear will disappear. Look at the fear, embrace the fear will disappear. You can do that all day long as the ego mind keeps throwing fear in there. Worry, stress, anxiety. that which can be taken away from you is not worth keeping. And that which cannot be taken away from you, why should one be afraid of its being taken away? It cannot be taken away. There is no possibility. You cannot lose your real treasure, your God, you, who you actually are. So join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and then easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. You are the greatest treasure. Even after you have received all the fame, fortune, and glory that you have been seeking for lifetimes, your ego will still try to continue its habitual search for more, more, more. Why are you still looking for riches outside yourself when you are the greatest, most precious gold mine in the entire universe? You are. The magic inside you is worth infinite treasures, so embrace this sacred truth. Allow yourself to discover the greatest treasures in this life are never outside of your body, but deep within your innermost core. If you cannot find it, then just keep digging. Just keep digging. Just keep digging. Dig so deep inside you that you find the very essence of before you were given a name. I predict that very, very, very soon that you will strike it rich. I was always impressed by your willingness to learn. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, generous, kind, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal gratitude at all times. And a great shift will occur. That shift will be within.